Welcome Capricorn to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 15th of January for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you joined me last week, you will know that Mars in your sign, a very passionate and enthusiastic energy, linked brilliantly to the planet of fortune Jupiter, which reached a peak on Friday. But they're still in touch this week within 3 degrees, so you can still feel in the mood to show endeavour and enterprise. But your ruler Saturn, which can sometimes make you a little cautious, is forging a link with Mercury in your sign. But that's a terrific association because I feel that in a way that's a counterpoint to the larger than life energy of Mars and Jupiter. And Saturn in your third house can help you to scrutinize and think about things and then converse with people about what you want to do in a very structured way. So I feel that people can really respond to your point of view. They can feel that desire and passion, but they can also feel that your ability to structure things and manage things very astutely is going to be impressive. But Venus in your 12th house has been causing some potential mischief around your relationships. There may have been some doubts, whether it's around the sincerity of certain friends in your situation, or it could be around a love relationship itself. And Venus is in a square with Neptune. If this seems to ring a bell, it's because Mercury and Mars were clashing with Neptune at the end of last year and at the start of this year. Now they're replaced by Venus, which is obviously about relationships, self-worth, money, and our enjoyment of the good things in life. The 12th house could see you drawn to somebody who you find to be a very charismatic speaker or who has ideas which you find really draw you in. But just be aware that Venus and Neptune in a square can be very deceptive. So the desire that comes from Venus, even if at this stage it's low key or even clandestine, it could be something that can cause some mischief. Not the best of times to listen to anyone's gossip, to be honest. There's a quarter moon on Thursday in your sector of home and emotion, clashing with the Sun in your sign. It's important with the Sun, Mars, Mercury and Pluto, with the Sun and Pluto coming together in the Cazimi on Saturday, that your single-mindedness does take into account your emotional needs and environment as well, because a lot of first house energy can give us such a desire to see through what we want in a very narrow way. It gets more difficult to broaden our view on situations. And of course, because of the new moon which occurred in your sign last week, that energy is still reverberating out and is lit up by the very exciting and quick moving energies of Uranus. So you may not be in the mood to sort of stop and consider, but if someone does have a point of view that's slightly different from yours, that seems a bit more cautious or a bit emotional, try to cut them a little bit of slack. But yes, Saturday, what a momentous event. The Cazimi between Pluto and the Sun won't happen in your sign for 220 years again. And of course the Sun then moves later on Saturday and Pluto follows it on Sunday, and they come together in your second house. If one of the things that you've done over the last 16 years is work tirelessly on your own business or a hobby or interest where you've really put so much graft in, something you have a huge appetite for, but it's seemed like it's been rather thin pickings in terms of your rewards, you will start to see things building up in a much more substantive way. Now obviously on the 2nd of September, Pluto will rewind back into Capricorn for 11 weeks. So this is the penultimate time that Pluto is in your sign, but this particular relationship on Saturday will never be repeated in your or my lifetime. So just think back over those last 16 years. It may feel that there's been a lot of change, particularly if you've got other personal planets along with the Sun in Capricorn, which is entirely possible. And maybe it has been painful at times, but what it has all done is served to help you to understand how you need to be your authentic individual self, because being the sign of continuity, perhaps there was a lot of shaping in your younger life where you were expected to be molded in terms of what the prevailing traditions were at that time. But really what you've been asked to do over the last 15, 16 years is really engineer the core being, the core person you are. And that may have not always been easy at all, but give yourself a huge amount of credit for anything creative, anything to do with passions, artistry, self-employment, because that courage that you've developed has been transformed in lots of ways with the help of Pluto. But you can start to see the seeds of all that hard work paying off for you from here on in. It's been a real pleasure being with you. If you've yet to check out your year 2024 deep dive video, please see the link beneath this video. If you would like to ascend above this zodiac forecast and understand what year 2024 will hold for you in terms of your personal astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of unique birth data of time, date and place, or date and place if you don't know your time, I'll produce for you your transit forecast for the next year, which is how the planets in the sky are interacting with your natal birth chart. No 2 natal birth charts are exactly the same, and this information will give you searing insights into what you can expect, but also how you can plan your responses in advance. There's also 30% off, and in my special package you'll get your free zodiac, love, Chinese and Indian forecasts for all 12 signs for the next year. Please see the link beneath this video for more.